tooth.
No, it's not a tooth. You've seen one. That really pisses people off. There was one in that case up there. God damn it! And I know what it is. I see. God damn it!
This is the.
I'd guess a platy thing from a Deinosuchus. My guess.
Okay, what does the platy thing from the Deinosuchus? What did they have, and that one doesn't have?
That one has a ridge on it.
Did the platy things have all kinds of pits in them?
No.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's right.
They have pits in them. It's a good guess. What were you going to say? You were going to be right. I almost heard you say it.
I was going to say that it was the. What I'm trying to say, this shit. It's either going to be.
It's not dinosaur shit. It's not.
No, it's going to be like the off the tail of the.
What, some kind of spine?
Yeah.
I have that. Do you remember seeing one of these in my case?
Yes.
That's what that is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what's happened is this thing is broken off. This is called the vertebral centrum. This is the neural canal where the spinal cord goes through.
Yeah.
Then you have a thing called the neural arch. And off of the neural arch are these two things called diapophyses and the neural spine. And you're looking at a broken neural spine right there.
Okay.
It's not fresh broke, so basically what happened is whatever this broke off was laying on the ground and got stepped on or just rolled and snapped off, and it's been reworked. So one, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this is from a hadrosaur, and since it isn't really connected to anything that's still in the hill, it isn't worth chasing down. But it's kind of interesting. That's how I got to go through the process of, okay, first off, let's say what can't it be?
Yeah.
Okay, we know it isn't a leg bone. It's not round.
Yeah.
Can't be an arm bone either. So you've eliminated a lot of your possibilities right there, right? And that's how we kind of go through the process of figuring what this stuff is. Here's another one. This one's a little harder. I've only had 4 people in all the tours I've done get that correct, and they all worked in the medical professions.
I think it's something up here.
Up where? Like
Collarbone or something like that.
Yeah, collarbone or shoulder.
What if I did this with it? What if I took this, stuck it right there?
Leg bone.
Well, what is this from?
That's from a spine.
All right, take your finger.
So this is a hip or
Nope. Take your finger. Find a rib.
Yep.
Track it around your back.
Yep.
What does it connect to? Your
Back.
ribs connect to your
That's
spine.
the rib bone.
Yeah.
These diapophyses on these ribs, or on these vertebrae, are the anchor points for the head of a rib. This thing would sweep way down here.
Around,
And
yeah.
you remember, the backbone of this animal is going to be like a dog. It runs this way. It's not up and down like ours.
No.
And so the ribs come down and hold the viscera of the body in. So what happens is, this guy is one of the main ribs that connects to this diapophyses by cartilaginous material, and when the animal breathes and moves, it's allowed to flex.
Okay.
And so you're missing, this thing's called you don't have to remember this. This thing's called the capitellum, and it just pops up here. And this guy goes over about just to here, and it forms a thing called the tuberculum, and they fit in a groove underneath that diapophyses, and the rest of this rib just sweeps down.
Wow.
Makes like a sword. But it's one little piece of something, but if you get good at this, you can look at that and go, fucking rib. And you get really frustrated, because when you collect a dinosaur, you know, it's a lot of time to collect them, to fix them, to store them. And in some cases, if it's just ribs, we might leave those in the ground and bury them back up. And if somebody wants to come and collect them again, then they can come back out and do it. We might take 1 or 2 of them as examples, but it's not usual for Big Ben dinosaurs to have 6 and 8 ribs laying there, and we usually don't collect them if we have a choice. This one's a little easier. God damn, this one's broken too. Okay, we'll have to come out here and fix these one of these days. Oh my. Okay, this guy goes in there like that. Any ideas what this might be from? Oops. I'm gonna have to take this back with me today.
I have no idea.
No idea. Huh. You've seen one.
It's a femur.
Tibia.
Why do you say that?
I think just the design of
Which
that.
end?
I'm going to say that's probably.
What does a femur on the top end has what on it? It's got a big ball called the femoral head. Do you see a ball on there anywhere?
No.
No. What you're looking at, it is a femur, in fact. But you're looking at the bottom end of it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's the ball.
Yep.
This is the distal end. These are called the condyles. This is the surface that basically rotates back and forth to make the knee joint with the tibia and the fibula.
That's what I was going to think.
That's exactly what that is. In fact, there's another piece of it out here too that I should glue back on here. I think this is it. quick. Yeah, that's it. I can fix this guy. I'll have to do it in the lab. Anyway, this is a fairly small femur.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you suppose it, what do you think it could be from? Now, little femurs can come from little dinosaurs that happen to just be little dinosaurs, or they can come from young dinosaurs. I know this is a hadrosaur femur. It's just like the one in the lab, just like the one up there, but it's much smaller. This is a juvenile guy. This guy died, and basically his skeleton got all disarticulated, and this is one little piece that got left behind. So once again, not much to work with there, but you can kind of get an idea what a little dinosaur bone is.
Yeah.
That's some of the things that are problematic for us, is that you look at a bone, and if you really can't see the whole thing, you start to wonder, is it really a hadrosaur, or is it from a dinosaur that's just small in general? You know, that kind of thing. All right, this one will be a little easier. Fuck that even is. I'd say that. There you go. What do you make of that thing? When we leave, Jenny, remind me to come back here. I want to get this bone.
Piece of spine?
Good guess, it is, indeed. Most people will say this is a finger bone, but they think small.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a rather small vertebral centrum. Remember on the other vertebra we talked about the where the neural spine or the neural canal goes through? Well, that little canoe-shaped thing right there is the bottom of the neural canal. And the neural arch and spine is missing.
Yeah.
This happens to be a tail vertebra, so it ought to have a little spine that goes off about as far as my finger.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so it's pretty small. So what part of the dinosaur would this be from? Where do you find little tiny dinosaurs?
The end of the tail.
End of the tail.
End of the tail,
Yeah. So what you look at is this. From a paleo standpoint, the neural arch is broken. When a dinosaur gets bigger, there's more mass to it, and it needs more nervous system to feed the electricity required to run that greater mass. So as the dinosaur grows, the vertebral area that supports the spinal cord has to get bigger. It has to become a bigger hole because there's more dinosaur back there. So the actual vertebra grows here in the neural arch, okay? Mm-hmm. If you break a neural arch of a juvenile animal, it'll leave these really distinct striations called sutures. Same thing as you got in your skull.
Yeah.
Does this have any little striations in it anywhere? Or does it just look pretty much clean broke?
Clean broke.
Right, so when a dinosaur is finally mature, those areas of suture become fused and it will no longer break there. So because it has no little suture marks here, it's probably from a juvenile animal.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, an adult animal, mature animal. So the only place you find a little tiny vertebra from a mature animal is at the tip of the tail.
Yeah.
But this guy goes right back on the outcrop. If there's 6 of them, or there's 8,
then you got something.
Then you dig. Okay, this is my last little show and tell piece. I'll just give you a clue that that's not from dinosaur.
Turtle shell.
Get out the 10 Bits Ranch chalkboard.
Okay.
And yes, it is a turtle shell. Okay. Turtles are round.
Yes.
Turtles have a row of vertebrae down the middle called neurals. They have bones that go across the sides called costals. In fact, that's actually what the turtle's ribs are. Turtles are very interesting in that they're the only animal whose basically pectoral girdle is inside of their rib cage.
Huh.
You know, their little arms and all that pop out. Well, the shell is the ribs.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting evolutionary thing that actually works and still works. It's been around for 250 million years. On the edge of the turtle shell, they have a group of bones called peripheral bones. You can just call them rim bones or something.
Okay.
And there's just several of them that go around the edge of the shell. Okay? This is the edge of the shell, and it's kind of curved like it would be part of the top of the shell. So that's what that is. It doesn't look like much. Mm-mm. This is one of your gypsum-covered crappy bones that we saw back over there.
Yeah.
And on a tour just like this one, right over here where I'll show you where we got it, I found 5 or 6 of these things coming out of the hill, and I wondered what's going on, and I dug back in and I found some bone in there, and it was a lot of bone, and it took me a couple of months of digging, but I dug an entire turtle out of the hill.
Wow.
The whole thing. And I'll show you where we did that. I've got some great pictures, and it turned out to be a new genus and new species.
Fantastic.
So what was nothing but a little piece of crap to you and me, or to anybody that's not trained, turned out to be a scientifically invaluable specimen, which we found right here on the ranch. So we're going to go over and visit that. We're going to talk a little bit about excavation and how we do this.
Do you want me to put that bone in here?
No, I'm going to hand carry it.
Okay.
it's about to come apart in all these
Okay.
crackers. I need to put PVA and shit on it.